Hi, I'm Kathy Broussard. I'm with the National Ag Statistics Service. I'm the Louisiana State Statistician, and I'm at the Beekeepers Conference in Alexandria. And what we're doing here today is we're letting people know that the Ag Census is coming up in December. You're going to get a questionnaire in the mail, and it's important that you provide us with that data, because that data helps us understand the changes over the past 5 years that have happened in agriculture, and it helps us plan for the future. So please respond to the Ag Census.
So what I'm going to do today, I don't have much time, but I'm going to give you a bee and honey update from the NASS survey programs and talk a little bit about the Census of Agriculture. All right. We are the official statistical agency for USDA. Our mission is to provide timely, accurate, and useful statistics and service to U.S. agriculture. And we do that through surveys in the Census of Agriculture. And for the bee industry, the bee and honey industry, we do two surveys a year, one on production and one on colonies. And just so you know, there'll be one coming out in October for colonies. Please fill it out, turn it in. If you don't want to fill it out, just send it back and say, I don't want to fill it out. Because we have to account for you. That's why you get the cost. All right, so our most current information was put out on August 1 on the production, and we have the colonies that was put out, I'm sorry, I have that backwards. Colonies came out on August 1, and the production came out on March 18. So we're looking at answering that question that Mark couldn't answer earlier. How many colonies are there in Louisiana? Well, the last survey showed us that there were 43,000 colonies, honey-producing colonies, in Louisiana. So, what did I say? 37,000?
You said 43.
Pardon?
You said 43,000.
Okay, that's census. But anyway, we're at 37 now. That was our last survey. But you can see Louisiana is still ahead in terms of colonies across the Delta area, Arkansas, Mississippi, and Louisiana. That's our region that we deal with. We are up from last year, and we'll have the new data after the survey cycle for this year. But in those colonies that we have, production is down. Now, I guess you guys know this. This is what you report to us. We take that information and we turn it back for y'all. So we do the Census of Ag, and that gives us a deep dive into the parish level. So this is going to happen in December. You're going to get a survey, a census survey. It's our only survey that's mandatory. So we do ask that you fill it out again, what you're comfortable with, mail it in. If you don't, we're going to visit with you. But in 2017, we identified 695 farms that had colonies of honeybees. And on those farms, they had 47,800 in terms of colonies. 47,800 and change. And that's a little different from that 43. But when you look here, you compared it. In 17, we were 4,000 colonies short if you compare the 17 census to the 17 survey. So we expect census to capture more people, because we're always trying to find out who those new people are. But 4,000 is not bad. You know, we'll take it. But that's what we do. We do information. The census is a complete count of farms. A farm, for our definition, is the sale or the potential to sell $1,000 worth of a product. It could be honey, it could be a calf, you know, a couple of calves, it could be rice crops, whatever it is, farm to market sort of things. But we only do this survey every 5 years. It's a very important survey for all of us. But if you look back, this goes back to 1840. We have been collecting data in some form or another since 1840. It was done in 26 states in the District of Columbia, and George Washington started that. We conduct the Census of Agriculture now in all 50 states. We do it in Puerto Rico and the islands that are outlying territories and such. And that's more than 3,000 counties and 30,000 zip codes that we reach out to. So when we look at the ag, it's important The Census of Agriculture is important because it's your voice. It's the one time you have an opportunity. You can tell what the value of production is. You know, we've had some crazy years these last few years. So we need to reflect what 22 is going to look like. It's going to be a census based on the 22 production cycle. So tell us what happened in 22. And it gives people an opportunity to see where our growth is, what we've seen change. We have the farm to markets. I will tell you in 17, we had a 28% increase in farms under 10 acres. That's farm to market, farm to restaurant. You know, so that's what we capture, it's those trends. And those decisions, that information does help with policy. It's the future. It's your future in agriculture. It gives a positive impact. The information you provide drills down to that parish level, and at that parish level, if they start looking at trying to put in a farmer's market or trying to find out if we can get a grant and they need to know how many farms or how much acreage is in production, it comes from that Census of Agriculture. The universities use it to get grants at the national level so they can help drills down to the local level. So your future depends on what you report. We give us an idea of what agriculture is looking like. It's an opportunity to make a difference. You tell your story. That's what you're doing. And your story is combined with everybody else's story. And we're not going to call you out on anything. But you represent, everybody we mail represents farms. Different kinds. You can be small, you can be huge. We just need everybody and all types represented. We want you to respond when you get that census survey, and we want you to return it quickly because we'll do some follow-up. I'm sure you're aware of follow-up. But this, like I said earlier, this is the only survey we have that is required by law. And we want you to be counted because there is strength in numbers. Louisiana had reported out 27,600 and change in terms of farms in Louisiana. That's everybody who reported on the census. That's what Louisiana's ag looks like. We expect that to increase. We capture demographics. We want to know what the face of farmers look like. It's going to mail out in late October, early December. You can do it online at agcounts.usa.gov, and I would encourage you, any survey you get from us, if you fill it out online, it's much easier because once you answer that question, it's going to throw you to the next question that applies. You're going to skip sections that don't apply. It saves time. You can also respond using snail mail. We don't know if it'll ever arrive or not. Things are a little different with the post office. And if we don't hear back from you, you might get me coming up to make a call or visit, and you can show me, what you got going on in your backyard. So I really encourage you to respond. I do have a table out, as she said, as Timmy said, and stop by and visit. We're information, that's what we give. But the thing you need to remember, I think it's important, and it's part of my job, is to develop a relationship of trust with producers. Any information you give us, names, addresses, phone numbers, any data you report on a questionnaire, we separate it. Once we account for you, we separate it, and your name and address is protected. We don't give it to the IRS. We don't give it to anybody, really. We have a security clause, confidentiality requirement that we have to follow. So your information is protected. I know that's a concern, especially in this day and age. But I will tell you that our administrator was called to court one day to help in a divorce case, and there was some concern about how much money, what size the farm was, and his response was, I can't divulge that information. So it is protected. We cannot give your individual farm information out. So talk to us. Let us know what's going on. I have my cards out back, my contact information. I'm on the road 3 days a week. Happy to come visit if you want me to come out. Happy to address your local clubs if you want. So that's what I have to say. Do I have any questions? Look, she's creeping up on stage.
back to your graphing slide, the one that showed all the years of like 20, like, very
The past
beginning.
10.
Yeah, the very beginning, yeah, please.
That one?
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
Yeah. Yeah, Louisiana's kind of been leading the pack. You know, we've had some drop-offs from 19. I don't know what was
So,
exciting.
is that
in
Hurricane
19.
Laura? That's what I'm wondering, was Laura
Before Laura,
2020? Is it
20,
so 2020?
yeah.
I mean, I don't know, I'm just wondering.
Huh? Depends
Why,
on,
why, that's a big drop.
right.
Let's see the next slide too, please. There you go.
What is it?
That is production, yield per colony, and the number of colonies. But we,
That drop, I wonder if that was Laura.
it could be, because that's what information does. Information is power. And this is the kind of thing we need to tell a story. Now, I'm part of the emergency group for Louisiana, the State Emergency Board. This is the information we bring to the table that says there was a disaster. We can tell you how much we lost. You know, in addition to the information that FSA has in insurance. You know, we are part of one big umbrella agency, and we all work together. Anybody else want to preview? I'll leave they have the presentation if anybody ever wants it. So, other questions? That's it. I'm done. Thanks, guys.